A lot of times what we hear our opponents, the Democrats, saying is, well, you don't have an idea, you don't have a plan. What's your idea? You're just always saying negative things about ours. Well, that's not true. I mean, just starting with what we did today. The number I saw was that it was an 8% increase in a whole series of categories, an 8% increase. Now, the average household in my district hasn't had an 8% increase this year in their paychecks. And yet the government is going to push this 8%. So let's be specific. I don't want to be negative here. I'd like to say, well, what's the positive thing?
Yeah, if the gentleman would yield.
I do yield.
Mr. Speaker, the story is much worse. 8.0% is bad enough, as I tried to point out. But let me actually show in this chart that I'll hold up for my colleagues. This in the blue shows the amount of spending for each one of these categories in this omnibus bill: agriculture, commerce, justice, energy, water, financial services, interior, legislative branch, labor, HHS, state, foreign ops, and transportation, HUD, T-HUD. In the blue, what we had spent in billions in fiscal year 2008. This is already enacted. And so in the red is what we did today. And let's just take these 9 categories and look, Mr. Speaker, very closely at them. Agriculture, we increased spending over 08 by 45%. The commerce, justice by 41%. Energy and water, 151%, and on and on and on. And you might say, well, wait a minute now, you just said the overall increased spending was 8%. What we need to understand, Mr. Speaker, is in this economic stimulus package, much of that money was in these categories that should have been enacted under regular order. When we do these appropriations bills and we go through subcommittee and committee in regular order, that money, much of that was in these different categories that had nothing to do really with job creation, or very little to do with job creation. And when you add that money out of the economic stimulus package to these categories, it's not 8%. I say to the gentleman from Missouri, it is 80%. 80%. Reclaiming
my time, you make an excellent point